Brown County. What do you think the biggest challenges are that currently face Brown County law enforcement?
Thank you. I think the biggest challenge right now is meth. And that is something that I've worked hard on in the state legislature, you know, supporting tougher laws for people who deal meth, and then fighting against the governor's bill, Senate Bill 70, a couple of years back, which would allow softer penalties for what they would call, or what they did call at the time, victimless crimes, or what did they say, harmless criminals or something to that effect. I can't remember the exact term they used. But one of the things in my talks with the state's attorney's office, before Senate Bill 70, we had about 3 kids at any given time within Brown County who were placed into foster care because their parents had a meth issue. And now after Senate Bill 70, that number is up over 60. And that's because these folks with these addictions aren't getting what they need. They're just getting kicked back out onto the street, and then they're supposed to watch these kids. They can't, and now it becomes more of a burden on the county. So I think meth is going to be our biggest law enforcement issue in the county moving forward. You know, it's something we see almost on a daily basis now. So we got to make sure we are targeting the dealers and focusing on them and rooting out that problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Milbrandt, the same question for you. Many challenges face Brown County. What is the biggest issue facing Brown County law enforcement?
Well, I agree with him on the meth problem. What I did back when I was chief deputy, I was a project director for 13 counties in the northeast part of South Dakota for 5 years. It was a drug task force that I ran. I had 2 agents, and back then we learned that drugs just don't happen in Brown County. They happen in other counties too. The Attorney General at that time saw that I was fit to do that. Like I said, I did it for 5 years. We covered all those counties. That helped get that information from county to county to county to county, and it actually worked so well that we caught and put a lot of people in jail for the illegal use of drugs, I should say. And after that was over, because they got rid of that, and they hired a bunch of drug investigators. That, matter of fact, we have one in Brown County, but I think it was, I can't think which chief it was, a couple ago, that I formed a drug task force with him. And that drug task force is still here today. I have a gentleman that is, we're going to get one, he left now, but we had one designated to work the drug task force. We had one from the police department working the drug task force. We had DCI working for the drug task force that I set up. And we work with Highway Patrol and DCI, other sheriffs, whatever, and we'll continue to do that because it is a big fight. That meth is terrible. And we keep fighting it every day, and we're going to continue to.
Thank you. I invite you